Some of us feel like we can do everything on our own. We don't need nobody. I'm a one-man band. If that's you, skip this video because I'm not talking to you. I'm talking about the people who recognize I can't do this on my own. Today, I want to give you just three little reasons why every leader, they need a coach. Be right back. Hey everybody, I'm Linnita Hosten, and I turn high visibility professionals and organizational leaders into skilled communicators, meaning you're confident and you're competent. And with those skills or confidence and competence, you start to build morale, trust, and connection, not only with the rooms that you're in, but the teams that you're also leading. And I love doing that work. Today, I want to talk to you specifically about 3 reasons why every leader needs a coach. Now, disclaimer, I have hired 3 coaches in the last 10 years. The first coach that I hired was a life coach, helped me to get alignment in some of the goals that I had in life holistically, mentally, physically, professionally, la. The second coach that I hired was a business coach. That was my most expensive one. She helped me to learn how to package something so I could sell it, how to build visibility online, how to create content that would drive my ideal customer. I also learned how to do my own makeup in her class, but that was a part of visibility, looking the part. I also learned how to create a curriculum and sell it with that business coach. The third coach I hired was in 2022, and that was a wellness coach. And that person helped me meet 2 goals. And you might find this to be weird, but I hired someone to teach me how to feel. Because I recognize I'm so task oriented, I will take the emotion out of the work and the do. And it was showing up when I was dating. So as I started to prepare, but this is before I even met my fiance, I started to prepare myself to be a wife. And part of that being a helpmate is being able to have discernment and being present with your partner, whether that's in prayer, conversation. You know, I didn't want to feel so numb to feelings that I couldn't recognize when he was feeling. And I did this prematurely of even having somebody. I wasn't even dating when I met my wellness coach. And that was my last investment, 2022. Recently, I've been thinking about hiring someone, a communications coach, because I want to make this very clear. I am America's #1 communication coach, and I still need to grow. So today I'm going to give you 3 reasons why every leader should have a coach. You get to decide which area you want to amplify. What you focus on grows. So you get to pick the area. But here's 3 reasons why every leader needs a coach. 1, it's going to accelerate your progress, meaning you won't be able to stay where you are. Not with a coach in your ear, reframing your mind and your thoughts. It's impossible for you to stay where you are. Their goal is forward. It's unlike therapy where you go back to revisit why or how things happen, how they affect your now. In coaching, it's moving forward. And I didn't mention this to you, but I am a certified wellness coach. I went through a wellness coaching program so that I could coach my clients who were coming for communication skills. I didn't want to assume that I could coach without having the skill set in doing so. So I say that to say I understand what a coach should be doing. It should be moving you forward. So the first reason why every leader should have a coach is going to accelerate your progress, meaning you're going to skip a learning curve. And you get to pick which area that learning curve is going to, you get to benefit from. You get to learn from or skip some of your mistakes and errors by learning through someone else's practice and or getting a transfer of their knowledge. I don't know about you, but anything accelerated, I want to be a part of that. Here's the second reason why every leader needs a coach is because they're going to provide you with accountability. In all of my coaching programs that I invested in, there were tasks, assignments that I was responsible for doing. I would show up to the sessions and I had to talk about those things. And that was a layer of accountability. When we would get on those calls, I would have to report out what I'd done. And mind you, I'm paying for this. So that means I need to have been doing the work. When you don't have somebody there holding you accountable, it's very easy to just say, okay, not today. That's not important right now. Coaches will magnify what you said is important based on the goals you presented to them. Who wouldn't benefit from that? One of my very first coaching clients was a parent, a family man, a married man, a black man. And he had 3 goals he wanted to develop while he was with me. One, he wanted to continue to nurture and grow his marriage. That he wanted to move their relationship on a scale of 1 to 10, 10 being extremely happy, 1 being extremely unhappy. I can't remember his rating where it was, but he said he wanted to move it to an 8 by the time we finished. We had 5 months. He moved that joker to an 8. There were some tasks that he identified that he wanted to do. He wanted to be more intentional. He wanted to date more. He wanted to find creative ways to implement date night, even if the children were home. So when we came to the calls, I was accountable. Hey, what did you do with your wife this week? Because that was one of the 3 goals that he set. He had some other goals around his entrepreneurship idea. And then the third one was more so about his physical fitness. So that's just an example of how accountability helps you to really achieve what you're looking for. So I'd say that's the second reason why every leader needs a coach, so you can be held accountable. The third one is you don't know your blind spots, man. You can't see them, especially when you're deep in the weeds of what you're doing. Especially if you've been doing it for a long time. See, we associate competency with length or duration of experience, and we know that is not true. Because some people have been parents for 50 years and are not good parents. Some people have been driving for 40 years and are not good drivers. So length of time does not equal proficiency. It just means that you've been doing it. But the level of proficiency you've been doing it is not what you're measuring when you talk about the length of time. That would be your competency that you would be measuring. That stands separate from your length of time. And so when you work with a coach, they're going to have awareness about the blind spots that you can't see. And they're going to be able to speak to those things to help you not only identify them, but develop strategy, workflows, responses to begin to make some changes that you deem are important. If you're thinking about working with a coach, here's some ways that I didn't even plan to share this, but here's some things I want you to look for. 1, does that person align with your core values? Your core values are the things that matter deeply to you. And when these things are disrupted, they disrupt your energy and spirit. They don't make you feel good. 2 of my core values, 1 is time, being timely, showing up on time, ending on time. Second one of my core values is professionalism or excellence. A person really just being professional and or just giving me the red carpet when they serve me, because that's how I serve my clients too. So I'm looking for the me in a service provider or an experience. So if I were looking for a coach, I'm going to look at when I reach out to them, how long did it take them to respond back to me? How quickly can I get on their calendar? How quickly can I start my sessions? I'm also going to be looking for their professionalism when they're talking to me. And all of the elements that would make the work that they're doing professional. The other thing that I'm going to be looking for is how they speak about their faith. So, that's what I would be looking for, or how they present themselves, the fullness of themselves. Are they comfortable? Are they authentic? When you're looking for a coach, you want to look to see, are your core values exemplified in that person? They don't have to be all of them, but can you see some of the things that matter to you mattering to them? That's how you know you got a good possible coach. And I want to back up and say this. I love coaching Black men, especially Black men who are clear on who they are. I love coaching them because they are overlooked in the area of well-being. We look at them for achievement, for honoring their families. We look at them for how they groom themselves, maybe the success of making it when their circumstances look like they might not would be able to. We look at them and honor them for those things. But I don't think we deeply connect with, as a result of the weight of those things that are positive, how it affects them and their well-being. I don't think we do that. And if we do it, we don't do it consistently well. That's why I like coaching them. So ironically enough, 80% of my clients are Black men. Now, I'm not saying I'm opposed to working with any other color. That's just, the other colors don't come to me. The Black ones do, I guess, because I'm Black too. So I just want to make that clear. I'm not like, anti non-Black, but I'm going to be pro Black because I see the need too. And I'm always proud of how they show up. Let me tell you, a few of my Black male clients, they bring their most vulnerable selves to our calls. Two of them are communication specific things. And we start with communication, but with the weight that they're carrying, we venture off into other things, which is fine. We always come back to their goal, which is why they initially hired me. But I say this all the time. Your communication skills are married to your well-being. The two cannot be divorced. That's why I leave that safe space for them to talk about those things. And we come back, but the weight of what they're experiencing is going to influence. You're going to hear it when they speak, and you're going to feel it when you're in their presence. The weight of what they're experiencing comes out when they communicate. We can't ignore that. So I say all that to say, I love working with Black men and coaching them per se. So if you are a leader and you are in a high visibility role, or you are an organizational leader and you desire a coach after listening to this, I highly encourage you to start doing your research. I don't know where you could go to look for coaches. You're looking at one, you can, if you watch this and you say, hey, I'm thinking about, or I'd be interested in a coach. Well, let's talk about how much they typically cost. A coaching container, which is typically 5 sessions, depends on where you go. On the very low end, you might be able to find somebody for $3,500 for all 5 of those sessions. Now, that sounds like a lot of money, but when I tell you the value that you're going to get in that what seems like a little bit of time, because you're paying for the wealth of someone's knowledge who's going to condense it and give it to you with accountability and acceleration, plus awareness of your blind spot. To be honest, that's invaluable. Any high achieving person has a coach, and some of them have them in multiple areas. I think sometimes we think, unless we're high income earners, we don't need that. And the truth is, coaching is a luxury, and it's an investment that will pay you back. It's an investment that will pay you back. Successful people understand that. They understand the terms of ROI, return on investment. A coaching investment, a good one, it will pay you back. Sometimes it's not always in money. When I invested in that wellness coach, I didn't get a payback in money, but what I got, a reshifting in my mind. I could feel my emotions. I eliminated the fear of purchasing my first home. I had wanted to do that for Since 2018, I had the credit score and the money to do it. I was afraid. So I sat on that idea and goal of mine until 2022. 4 years. I met with that wellness coach 5 sessions. One of my homework assignments was to call a loan officer and get pre-approved. Do you know when I got on the phone with that loan officer, he said, I don't understand what's taking you so long. So go find a house. His exact words were, go find a house and call me back. And when I went back to my coaching session, she asked me, how do you feel about that? I was like, it affirmed that I'm ready. She was like, yeah, you are. So go find the house. And that literally triggered me looking. So I say all that to say, I spent $3,500 to overcome the fear of something. I'm living in a house that now has a space for a studio. This is my home. I earned money in this place. So I have gotten my ROI back from that session, actually. So these are just examples that I'm giving you the power of being coached. I'll allow you to self-elect how you identify yourself as a leader. And I want you to walk away from this video knowing that because you are a leader, you need accountability and you need accelerated progress and you need awareness of your blind spots. Now, whether you decide to invest in those things, you get to choose. But let's make it clear, successful people do make those kinds of investments. And now I'm going to drop the mic. I'm trying to get brief with these episodes. I love you. There's absolutely nothing you can do about it. I want you to drop in the comments, what was your biggest takeaway from our time today? What was your biggest takeaway from our time today? See you next time.